Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video because I'm going to be giving you a list of 10 different product niches that I have compiled that have a lot of potential for Amazon selling in 2025. These are things that I find to be a bit more unique and things that could definitely be explored in order to find super profitable products, and that is the name of the game when it comes to successfully selling with Amazon FBA. So if you want to find out what these 10 niches are, and I'm going to save the best one for last, stay tuned to this video. Before we get started, I would love if you could subscribe to the channel. We are growing quickly and I love to talk about e-commerce and Amazon FBA and really all things business. I have been able to build up multiple streams of income and it all started with Amazon. So that is what this channel is all about. And if you want to learn more about increasing your income and building wealth, be sure to subscribe and like this video if you do like it. And without further ado, let's jump right in. So the first niche that we're going to look at is aging and accessibility products. So when I say accessibility, I mean items that are going to make it easier for specific groups of people to do their day-to-day function. So for example, something like that would be a lightweight foldable cane for someone who has issues using their legs or issues with their joints, a cane that will be portable and something that they can carry with them but not have it take up too much space. That would be something interesting. I'm not saying that you should sell that specific product, but that is what I'm talking about when I say accessible products. Another thing that you could think of are kitchen utensils that are just easier to grip. Maybe they have a thicker base so that they're not too tiny and hard to maneuver, with fingers that might be fragile or might have osteoporosis, for example, or issues with bones that might make it hard to grab certain things. That would be another example of something that fits into this niche of aging and accessibility products. The next niche that I want to talk about is pet care and accessories. And there are so many different ways that you can go with the pet supplies category, but with this specific niche, what I imagine is something that is made for a specific group of people who like to do certain activities with their pets. For example, it could be tools like a portable water bowl for a dog if you are hiking or in a place where you don't have access to what you normally would at home. Things like that would serve a very, certain type of customer who likes to do that activity, and it's something that they would definitely find a necessity and very useful for that hobby that they like to do with their pet. For number 3, we have DIY and hobby kits. And the reason that I like this as a niche is that people are getting very much into doing things with their hands and doing things on their own. Less about the result, but more so about the process and the actual activity of doing the thing. So for example, things like candle making, soap making, making resin art, and different projects like that are very enjoyable for people to do because it is peaceful for them, it's relaxing for them. Some people do it a bit more seriously. Maybe they sell those items, but there are lots of people who will either buy something like that for themselves or they might use it as a gift to another person. Kits are very popular as a gift. So that is something that I would definitely look into. There are so many different categories that you can make something or have a DIY project in different niches and for all different types of people, and there's something for everyone. So the next one is actually already in that niche, and these are home brewing kits or fermenting kits. I have seen so many people talk about making their own sour bread at home, and that's just that's not my thing. But once again, there are things that people enjoy doing that I will never understand and that I might never dabble in, but there are going to be things that they need in order to do that. So what are the items that you can sell that will cater to that group of people? Some people like to try to ferment their own beer at home, or DIY their own wine or their own version of liquor. I don't know. But either way, if they decide that that's what they're going to do, the first place they're going to go is Amazon to try to find the items to do it with. So that is another kind of route that you can explore within that niche. So the next item on this list is in the niche of camping gear. There are lots of different products that people use and need in order to go camping, but I think it's very useful to think of what would make it more convenient for whichever group of people you're looking at. And in this case, I would imagine that things that are compact and easier to carry around would be helpful in a situation like that where you are more limited with the amount of items that you can actually hold with you and bring from place to place. So you might look into collapsible dishware or, foldable plates, foldable utensils, things that are going to make it easier to kind of pack things up and take them to the next place. So that is something else that I would definitely look into. A very popular category for new Amazon sellers is the baby category. I find that a lot of people who are parents or people who are around kids often tend to gravitate towards this category because there are so many different products that are useful if you're someone who cares for kids in any capacity. And so I do tend to see people lean into this category. And I think if you are going to do that, one, be sure to do your research and make sure that it's not already too competitive or too saturated. But one area that I like is the idea of things that are kind of eco-friendly. I think a lot of parents and caregivers are becoming much more aware of, the harmful substances or materials that could be used when it comes to babies, because we all want to protect the babies. So think about things that will be eco-friendly, things that are non-toxic, non-hazardous, reusable instead of disposable. These are all things that will appeal to a kind of more environmentally conscious or health conscious buyer. Next up on the list is ergonomic work from home tools. And something that is a good example of this would be, little cushioned rests for your wrists. If you're someone who types all day long, you can get, little things so that you can rest your hands as you're typing so that you don't injure yourself or get hurt or sore from doing the same activity over and over again. Another example of this would be like a standing desk or one where there's a walking pad underneath so you can kind of move your body as you're working. Anything that would kind of make a chair more comfortable or make your day-to-day work from home experience more comfortable and more convenient would fall under this category. And there are a lot of people who have worked from home for the last few years under a new administration, if you know what I'm saying. There are not going to be as many work from home jobs, but either way, there is always going to be an opportunity to have those products available for the people who are lucky enough to work from home, or those who sell on Amazon and don't have to go into an office. The next niche is outdoor gardening supplies. And one thing that I can think of right off the top of my head are vertical gardening kits. So for people who are in places where they don't have a lot of space to have a full-fledged garden, maybe they're working with a smaller area, maybe they live in an apartment or a smaller home, they might want to garden, but garden vertically. So that means they are going to be planting things that are kind of going to grow up instead of growing out. So that is something that I think would definitely be a popular product, especially for people who live in more compact spaces and who are maybe in cities where they don't have as much actual square footage of land or places that they can actually grow these items, but might still want to get that experience of gardening and growing their own food. For our next niche, we have mental health and mindfulness. And there are lots of different things that can go into this category, but think along the lines of a stress ball or a weighted blanket or anything that could help keep somebody's anxiety down or be able to help them kind of get through a tough moment or something that they struggle with on a day-to-day basis. So these are things that are going to definitely improve people's quality of life. And if there's one thing that people are willing to pay for, it is for items that will help them make it through their day a little bit more smoothly, a little bit easier, and bring them some form of convenience or peace. So definitely something worth looking into. And the moment that you guys have all been waiting for, my final niche recommendation to look into is DIY or renter-friendly furniture hacks or decor that people can use to spruce up their space. I don't think it's very much of a secret that, at least in the US, and I'm not sure where you all are watching from, feel free to leave that in the comments, I'd love to know. But in the US, there are a lot of moving parts that are making it very hard for people to buy homes right now. So more people than ever are living in apartments and living in temporary housing that they can't actually fully alter the space with paint or with tiles or with new flooring or anything like that. So what are the things that you can sell that will help them still be able to customize their space, maybe modernize their space a little bit, but be a temporary solution so that they can still remove it when time comes for them to move out of the space? I've seen so much of this on all of my social media platforms. I see people doing renter-friendly, kitchen decorations, renter-friendly bathroom renovations, and a lot of different ways that people are finding it to be able to creatively upgrade and elevate the space that they live in without causing damage and having to pay large amounts of money once they finally move out and their lease ends. So that honestly would be the first place that I would start when it comes to looking for products, because there's such a high demand for those items. So hopefully you guys found this list helpful of just ideas of how you can start doing your product research. Don't forget to go ahead and get Helium 10, which is the product research software that I always talk about here on this channel. I have that linked below in my description box for you, as well as a free training. So if you want to learn how you can actually sell these products that I have mentioned in this video, feel free to watch that training. It'll kind of lay everything out for you and explain to you the steps that you'll have to take in order to get started with selling on Amazon. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I will see you guys in the next one.